This is Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for February 13th, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index was up 0.62 points or 0.15% to 409.43. Total trade volume increased significantly with 3.4 million shares changing hands at a total value of over 7 billion real or approximately $1.8 million. On the main board, 2 stocks were up, 1 was down, and the rest of the main board was flat. Leading the market was Cam GSM, up 0.41% or 10 real to 2,430 real per share, followed by Phnom Penh Autonomous Port, which was up 0.14% or 20 real to 14,140 real per share. On the other hand, MJQ Education was down 0.48% or 10 real to 2,080 real per share. Over on the growth board, DBD Engineering was up 0.97% or 20 real to 2,080 real per share, while JS Land stayed flat. DBD Engineering today replaced Akleda Bank as the company with the highest trade volume of the day, with over 3.4 million shares traded, valued at around 6.9 billion real or approximately $1.7 million, which is close to 99% of Thursday's total trade volume. Grand Twins International recorded the second highest trade volume of the day, with 19,186 shares changing hands at a total value of 118 million real or over $29,500, which was less than 2% of the total trade volume on February 13th. In other market news, Royal Group Phnom Penh SEZ released its Q4 2024 report, which showed a decrease in revenue. Royal Group Phnom Penh SEZ recorded a revenue of around $2.9 million in Q4 of 2024, which is much lower than the $6 million recorded during the same quarter in 2023, representing a decrease of over 50%. According to the company, the decrease in revenue was primarily due to no land sales, which led to a net loss for the quarter. MJQ Education, on the other hand, reported an increase in revenue, but a reduction in net profits. The company's net profits in Q4 2024 dropped by close to 27% compared to the same period in 2023. According to the company's disclosure notice, this short-term decline was primarily due to increased operating and administration costs from newly established campuses that have yet to reach their break-even point. Based on the company's financial statement for the 12 months of 2024, MJQ Education earned a revenue of over $40 million with profits around $25.5 million. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real to USD was stable at 4,005 Real per US dollar, while the US dollar index was down to 107.70. Looking at global commodities, oil prices fell about 1% on Thursday on expectations that a potential peace deal between Ukraine and Russia would end sanctions that have disrupted supply flows, while crude inventories rose in top producer, the United States. Brent futures were down 81 cents or 1.1% at $74.37 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude dropped 81 cents or 1.1% to $70.56. Brent and West Texas Intermediate fell more than 2% on Wednesday after U.S. President Donald Trump said Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed a desire for peace in separate phone calls with him, and Trump ordered a top U.S. official to begin talks on ending the war in Ukraine. Russia is the world's third largest oil producer, and sanctions imposed on its crude exports as a result of its invasion of Ukraine nearly 3 years ago have supported higher prices. Gold gained on Thursday as markets tracked U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff plans, which could further escalate a global trade war ahead of another set of inflation readings from the U.S. after its consumer prices jumped in January. Spot gold added 0.5% to $2,918 per ounce, moving back towards its record peak of $2,942.70 hit on Tuesday. U.S. gold futures firmed 0.6% to $2,945.40. Stock futures were pointing to further losses on Thursday as investors focused on stubborn U.S. inflation rather than the start of peace talks to end Russia's war with Ukraine. Producer price data due Thursday are set to give the market another update about how the central bank's battle against inflation is going. Stocks had tumbled after the Consumer Price Index report was published and look set to slide again Thursday. As of the time of the Cambodian market's closing, futures tracking the Dow Jones Industrial Average were down 80 points or 0.2%, S&P 500 futures also fell 0.2%, and Nasdaq 100 futures slid 0.1%. This was Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for February 13th.